Well, Brandon, you could probably do without this at the moment, couldn't you? The visit of Watford, your old club.
No, not really. No, it's a game we're looking forward to, but obviously it'll be a tough game, but they're all tough games. So, there's no problem. We just, whether it's Watford or any other team, we just want to get to winning ways and look to progress up the league.
You don't personally feel any additional pressure given the nature of the opposition?
No, there's no. Not for me. I've never tried to take. I never want to take pressure into football. For me, it's a job I love and a job I love doing. But there's bigger pressures in life than football. So for me, it's a game we want to win, just to, as I said, cap off a lot of our great work that we're doing every day, and as I said, and a home run that we want to end.
Everyone's saying the same thing at the moment. The players, we had the chairman on this morning, everyone's saying that Reading are getting better and the results will come. But can you understand the frustration now building amongst the fans that the results aren't coming?
Yeah.
And when's that going to change then as well? I know that's the impossible question for you, but do you feel that you genuinely are getting closer? Because against Peterborough, the problem wasn't scoring goals, it's conceding goals.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, the first half against Peterborough we were very good, as everyone's seen, and then we probably were too comfortable in the game. We got, we felt that we were well in control of the first half. I think the scoreline probably just marked where we're at the moment. West Brom, who are leading and are up there doing very well, they won 3-2 at Peterborough, and we lost out 3-2, and that's just the difference at the moment. But there's a great bunch of players here, and I understand frustration, of course. No matter how you're playing, supporters and people want to see the team winning, so we will fight very hard to continue to work well and get the results.
What about Watford then? They're obviously doing well in the table. You'll know them very well. Do you think their squad is better than Reading's, as the league table is suggesting at the moment?
I'll tell you at the end of the season. Come with May, then we'll have a look at that. Now, listen, Watford's a club I know well. There's good players there. Obviously some which I'd brought to the club, and some that, like young Lee Hudson, who's been playing, who I'd given a debut to. So, but no, they're, as I said, they're good players that have had a good start, and as I said, it'll be a good game. There's
been changes of personnel, but does it still give you an advantage having managed that group of players, that you know their strengths and weaknesses?
Not really, no. I know the mentality of most of them there, so because a few of them are already there, and there was players there that I'd brought to there. So no, it's, as I said, it's a good group. Malky's done well, and he deserved his chance there to take over when I left. So he's working with them, and as I said, they've had a good start in their first 8 games. But for me, I'm only really concerned about ourselves. We are just simmering away, really. As I said, we see our quality every day in training and our work, then as I said, it'll be hard to see us staying where we are for very long. So no, we're always positive and optimistic, and we hope we can get that sort of monkey off the back at the Medeski. As I said, because the supporters have been fantastic. I can understand the frustration, of course. We all want us to improve, but we will do that, and hopefully climb the league sooner rather than later. And
in terms of Reading personnel for this weekend, will you be making changes? You've got people like Inga Martin and McAnuff now back and fully fit and raring to go. How are you going to be looking this weekend?
Yeah, well, they're available. It's the one thing here, you've got a strong group of players. I think what we need to do is, I've got 2 systems, one of which I prefer to play, and another is something that if you have to change the course of the game. I think the reality is that we haven't really settled on a structure yet, and because we've been looking for the winning formula. It's as simple as that.
Do you know the winning formula now in your own mind?
Well, we'll find out, won't we?
But
we're going to find out.
You're happy with the style?
I know. I know more or less it's about the personality. In this moment in time, not so much about the style. It's about the personality of the team. We need to get the winning formula, and that means getting the best group of players that we feel is going to get the result. We haven't started great. There's no getting away from that. And I know as a manager, of course, that's what you're judged on. I'm not going to stand here and cry for time. I said that when I first came in. I'm not crying for any time. I, have big faith in my ability to work and work well. But I obviously know that, even for me, it's early were early into my vision of what we're doing here. But we will make progress, there's no question about that.
And the script's written for you to win against Watford, and JB McAnuff maybe score the winner. We were just saying to him.
It could well be. It could well be. Fate in football's, it's unbelievable really that we've gone this long, and it comes down to this game, that we could actually win at home. But as I said, it's irrespective of it's Watford, Newcastle, West Brom, Middlesbrough, whoever. We just want to give the supporters that winning feeling, and end a wee bit of frustration for ourselves in relation, because the players, you just sense they've been fantastic. They've continued to work well. They get great belief in themselves. We just need to, get up and running. We were wanting to do that last week, and in some ways I can understand, because it was the first time last week that the players had been comfortable in the game in terms of result and performance. Every other game has been very close, been tight. Last week it was we were comfortable and probably should have been 3 or 4 up, but it's a steep learning curve at the minute, and this is a part of the football. You have to, one week you're the hero and the next week you're not, so we just need to keep working and working well, and the consequence of that will be positive results.
Well, best of luck this weekend.
Thank you very much.
Brendan, 3,000 fans or so are going to be travelling down from Watford. What kind of reception do you reckon you'll get on the day?
Probably not very good.
Do you think so many fans is going to help or hinder the team, or do you think that will get everyone up for the day?
No, for us it'll just be the case of concentrating on the game. I think Reading Watford's always a good sort of local derby anyway, I would imagine. So and in my time there, Watford were always very well supported. The supporters were terrific. They were great for me. Had a difficult start there as well, when I went, and we grew and got better and improved and became one. So now they will come to the Majestic to hopefully see their team win. For me, it's really about concentrating on our own team, our own supporters, and using the qualities that we have to get a result.
Is it tempting to put Ivo Ingemarson straight into the team after the second half performance at Peterborough?
That's something I need to look at. As I said, I think it's worse if I keep playing the same team and we're not getting the results. The bottom line is we haven't found the winning formula yet, so I need to try and do that. And as I said, it'd be easy to keep the same team for 8 games and go along and not change, but we need to find it. And but I'm very sure we're very close to doing that. It's a tough league, and we've had a tough start in terms of how we've got our results and whatever. But I think I would argue with anyone to see that we haven't seen progress in terms of how we've been working and how we're playing. We've made great strides in a short period of time off the field, and if we can take our work that we do in training into the game, then we'll be hard to stop. So and we're just looking at switch that's going to take it into the game, get the results, and then we'll be off and running.
Where do you see Watford's danger? Where do you see their goals coming from?
Well, Danny Graham's a player that I'd agreed to bring in towards the end of last season, and he's done great. He's only a couple of 100,000, and he's a good player. Danny's scored goals, works very hard, so he'll be a threat. Don Cow's a player that I brought to the club, and Don's a terrific footballer who wants to go and get forward, and Don's a threat as well. So now they've got some good players, some young players there that play with no fear. Henry Lansbury, who I knew from Arsenal and seen him develop throughout the last numbers of years. A young guy Cleverly from Manchester United is a good talent. So now they've got some good young players, and they're going away to Nottingham Forest and 1-4-2, and been away to Plymouth and 1-1-0. So it's like always in this league, it's going to be a tough game, and because it's a local sort of derby, we'll make it equally as tough. So no, it'll be a tight game. I'm only trying to concentrate on what we do, because I feel that if we have an A game and our opponent has an A game, we win. It's as simple as that. We just need to try and get as many A games in as we can.
Have you spoken to anybody at Watford this week or since you've been at Reading?
No, well, obviously I speak with Malky. I've got good friends there. It's certainly always paid respect to the club. No matter what is ever said about me and sang about me or whatever, I'll always respect them. I was very proud of the work I'd done there in a short period of time. We united the club was broken, we made it one club. survived in the league, and when it looked doomed in November when I joined. As I said, we all became one, and in a funny sort of way, the frustration that maybe was felt with me leaving also the message was that they were happy with the work that I was doing. But this was a unique opportunity for me to come here, and do I regret coming here? Absolutely no chance. Is there pressure here? Of course there is, but for me there's no pressure. There's no pressure. It's what you need as a football player, and what you need as a manager to progress. So there'll never be a case where I will feel under big pressure. It's one that we need to get results, and as a manager, you know the consequence. But for me, as I said, it's very early on, but we need to show some better signs than what we're doing. Is
this your biggest match as Reading manager on Saturday?
No. I just, as I said, I try and never take it. I don't want to kill any of your headlines, but it's every game for me is a big game. Every game is a big game. So I want to win every game. I want to win every game well, and as I said, it just happens to be against a club that gave me the chance as a manager. I'll always respect that and always be grateful for that, and always be proud that I'm in their history as being the manager there. But I'm now the manager here of a great club whose supporters, for me, have been brilliant to me. All the ones I've met, all the stuff I get, supporting what I'm doing. But like in football, I always say there's three types. The type that like you and want you to do well. There's the type that like you and want you to do well, but they want to see the team improving. And then there's the third type that will not like you. But that's the same supporters that criticise Jose Mourinho, saying he's rubbish. They say Arsene Wenger's rubbish. They say Alex Ferguson. So you cannot control that. You try and just control the ones that are going to back their manager, back their club. And as I said, that will always be the ones that I will fight for, always.
Are you hopeful of winning around some of these so-called type threes, and if you get the result against Watford?
You can't. I don't waste my time. I cannot have the time to worry. The type 3 you cannot affect. Because if you were, I was sat watching a Reading game once when Steve Coppell was manager. 4-0 away at Cardiff it was. I think it was something like at half-time. They wanted 5-0. How can you win that? You're winning away from home and they want 5 goals. You cannot win. That's something you cannot win as a manager. All I know is that as a manager you're in it up to 3 levels. Your ankle, your knee and your neck, and you're trying to keep it below knee level if you can. At the minute I'm not up to my neck in it, but as I said, we're just managing. As I said, I'll always fight and do my very best I can. And we're not, in terms of results, very good, but there's many aspects of the job that I'm obviously loving, and the players give me the motivation every day because of how they're working and the faith that, as I said, they're showing in what we're doing.
And obviously on Tuesday, then travel all the way up to Preston. That's going to be a tough match as well. So the win's going to be. Does it make it win more important on Wednesday?
I'm sorry if I'm killing your headlines again, Johnny. Every game is the one game.
Yeah.
No, it's not more important on Saturday and then to go there because every game you want to win. So every game's important.